Guys, what's up? It's Steve Strangio for Trivia Uncut. How you doing? Welcome to the show. We're going to be doing some fun trivia games tonight. Now, last time we had a current events trivia, and this time we're going to be a little different. We're going to do 5 rounds of 3 questions each, and this time it's all going to be multiple choice. So I will ask you the question. I got some really inventive names for the rounds. I figured this time let's just have a good time. Let's just have fun having this. I'll ask the 3 questions up front and then do a little break, and then we will give you all the answers. So I suggest if you are playing, write down your answers, see if you got them right. If you're hanging out with your friends, see who gets the right answer, and make a guess, and just have a good time. That's pretty much what the show is all about. In case you're wondering, yes, as always, over here is Ducky. He might bark. That's my little pug right there. His name is Ducky. There's a very good chance he might bark during the show, but what the heck? That's all part of the fun of doing a live show from an apartment in New Jersey. All right, guys, so here we go. Moving on to question and round number 1. The name of this round is called Lots of Crazy Things. Yeah. So I'm going to give you some really wacky questions. You have to guess the equally wacky answer. But strangely enough, these answers are 100% true. You know why? Because I looked them up on the internet. Everything you read on the internet is true. Trust me. Here we go, folks. Number 1. So there's a whole bunch of plastic pink flamingos in the world. All right. But how many real flamingos are there? And just, we're looking for a general estimate. Maybe sometimes a specific one. It all depends. So here we go. You guess which one is correct. A, 40,000. Are there 40,000 real flamingos in the world? B, 67,475 as of last week. C, 2 million. Or D, it's a trick question. Flamingos are actually imaginary creatures like unicorns or tap dancing cowboys. So which one do you think it is? A, 40,000. B, 67,475 as of last week. C, 2 million. Or D, the trick question thing about the unicorns and the tap dancing cowboys. So write down your answers while I have a drink. I invite you to do the same. Yeah, this is from my cup from Humdingers in Paramus, New Jersey. Really cool place. I do trivia there. We'll talk more about that later. All right, so moving on, question number 2. So there is this edible thing out there that humans share 50% of their DNA with. What is it? What is it, I ask you? Why wouldn't I ask you? It's a trivia thing. Here are your choices. A, we share 50% of our DNA with a banana. B, a lobster. C, Mentos, the fresh maker. Or D, a chalupa. That's all I'm going to say about that. 50% of our DNA, humans, we share it with A, a banana, B, a lobster, C, Mentos, or D, a chalupa. It's fun to say. Moving on to question number 3. And then after this question, we're going to double back, and I'll give you guys all the answers. Moving on. So there's a lot of things out there that need measuring, okay? And a lot of different ways to measure them. Which one of these, according to the internet, is an actual unit of measurement? Here we go. A shmagegi. It could happen. B, a buttload. That's a visual. C, a Huffleganger. Or D, a Buick. So there we go. A lot of things out there that need measuring, a lot of different ways to measure them. Which one of these is an actual unit of measurement? A shmagegi, B, a buttload, C, a Huffleganger, or D, a Buick. All right, so before we get to the answers, want to let you guys know that you are watching Trivia Uncut. Trivia Uncut, because basically there's no bells and whistles on this. I mean, we do different versions of this for the Village Connection Network. This is a live Facebook live feed. There are no bells and whistles, no music, no graphics, except for the one in the beginning that I made. So that's the live feed. Then we kind of repurpose it. I add some music, and we actually put it onto a podcast, and you can download it and listen to a podcast. Just search for either Trivia Uncut on your podcast app or Trivia Slam, because that's what it used to be called. But we're kind of transitioning over to Trivia Uncut. So go check that out. All right, so here we go, guys. Round number one, entitled Lots of Crazy Things. So I'm going to give you a wacky question. Guess the equally wacky answer that was researched by me on the internet. If you don't think this is right, well, blame the internet. Don't look at me. Here we go. Question number one. There's a whole bunch of plastic pink flamingos in the world, but how many real flamingos are there? Give me a guesstimate. So the choices were A, 40,000, B, 67,475 as of last week, C, 2 million, or D, a trick question involving imaginary creatures or like unicorns or tap dancing cowboys. The answer, 2 million. That was C, so just around 2 million. So there are 2 million real pink flamingos out there just walking around. What's up with that? Little factoid about it. It's actually just under 2 million. So just remember, next time you see millions of pink flamingos, after you've drank way too much, Rob Roy's or highballs or any other drink you find in a dinner placemat, be nice to them, because they're nice to you, damn it. Moving on, question number two. There's an edible thing out there that humans share 50% of their DNA with. What exactly is that? The choices were A, a banana, B, a lobster, C, Mentos, or D, a chalupa. I swear to you, I was hoping it was a chalupa, but no, it's A, a banana. Ladies and gentlemen, we share 50% of our DNA with a banana. And there is a scientific explanation to this, but it involves lots of scientific jargon. So I suggest that you Google it and get yourself some peanut butter and just go to town. Just go nuts. And finally, question number three. A lot of things out there that need measuring and a lot of different ways to measure them. Which one of these is an actual unit of measurement? So we had A, a schmagegi, B, a buttload, C, a Huffleganger, which is fun to say, and D, a Buick, which is a funny word from the 1950s, and a car. So the answer is, believe it or not, B, a buttload. Yeah. A buttload is equal to 126 gallons. So, next time you go out and you order yourself like a buttload of beer, just do me a favor. Don't drink a buttload and drive, because the cops will just never stop laughing at you. So don't do it, kids. Don't. For your pal Steve, don't do it. I'm going to drink a buttload of water, so you guys can drink whatever you're drinking or do whatever the heck you do. I don't judge. You're watching Trivia Uncut. My name is Steve Strangio. I'm your host and MC. My co-host is the sleeping pug. There he is. Where is he? I can't look. There it is. Right there. Ducky. He's always sleeping in the background. That dog just never stops sleeping. We take him out a lot. He, if you want to follow him, by the way, he has his own Instagram account. Go to Ducky. Ducky is IE at the end. Ducky _, the official way to pronounce underscore. Ducky _the_ Puglet, Puglet. So follow him on Instagram. We post a lot of really cool stuff. My wife Helena and I have fun with this little boy. He's such a hell of a little puggy boy. All right, here we go, folks. Number two, round number two. Wake the kids, as David Letterman used to say. Wake the neighbors. Here is round number two. This round is entitled, "What the hell does that mean?" So I'm going to give you a strange sounding word. Then I'll give you a choice of definitions. Talking to you, you choose the correct one. All right? So here we go. Word number one. These are actual words that I looked up with my eyes on this computer dealie. Word number one, the word is blatherskite. 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 I'm going to give you four choices. Here we go. A, this is a type of infection that just never goes away. Some of you may have had this. B, that gunky stuff in your eyes when you wake up way too late. You know, if you're in love with somebody, you go, "Oh, let me get that for you, honey. Let me just right there. Let me get that for you." C, a blatherskite is a person who talks at great length without making much sense. And D, a type of music that was popular in London for 23 seconds. So, blatherskite. Which one of those is true? Type of infection that never goes away. That's A. B, the gunky stuff in your eyes when you wake up way too late. C, a person who talks at great length without making much sense. Or D, a type of music that was popular in London for 23 seconds. Write down your answers, because if you don't, you go to jail. It's true. Moving on, question number 2. The word is mumpsimus. The word is, sounds like password. The word is mumpsimus. It's M-U-M-P-S-I-M-U-S. Mumpsimus. Now, what is that? Here are your four choices. A disease that swells parts of your body that shouldn't ever swell. Ew. B, a gladiator who is really fat. C, a person who obstinately adheres to customs or ideas even though they are outdated and unreasonable. Or D, an ancient tribal dance that involves loincloths, avocados, and a puppy. Don't worry, Ducky, that won't bother you. So there you go, mumpsimus, a disease that swells parts of your body that shouldn't ever swell. B, a gladiator who's like just really fat. C, a person who adheres to customs or ideas even though they're outdated or unreasonable. Or D, an ancient tribal dance that involves loincloths, avocados, and a puppy. That's a movie I'd want to see. All right, moving on. Question number 3. Get ready for this one. This is a real word. I looked it up. I looked at it and I was like, is that a real word? And I said, that's a real word. So here's the word. Ready? Pooter. P-O-O-T-E-R. Pooter. So what is that? You got four chances to win this. A pooter is a foreign car with 3 wheels. B, a bottle for collecting small insects. C, the latest craze to hit the internet. Or you kids. Or D, that one thing that you're thinking of, but I can't say here. So, there you go. Number 3, pooter, a foreign car with 3 wheels, a bottle for collecting small insects, the latest craze to hit the internet, or the one thing that you are thinking of. And I know you're thinking about it. You kids. But I just can't say it here. So write down your answers. And while we're waiting for that, I'm moving up to the answers right now. You're watching Trivia Uncut. My name is Steve Strangio. I am your host. The unofficial co-host is Ducky the Puglet. He's behind me. He's snoozing. He always does. If you want to find out more about me, this guy, Steve, who the hell I am and what I do, I want you to go to SteveStrangioProductions.com. Strangio is S-T-R-A-N-G-I-O. SteveStrangioProductions.com, and you'll see everything that I do. I put all the spaghetti I threw against the wall on my website, and I did it. And go check it out. I do short films. I have episodic shows. I have travel shows. So much fun stuff. But right now, the only thing that matters right now is I'm doing Trivia Uncut right here on the Village Connection Network. L'chaim. It's good, H2O. All right, moving on, folks. Round number 2, answers. The name of the round was, what the hell does that mean? These are real words, and let me give you the real answer. So here we go. Number 1, the word was blatherskite. The choices were the type of infection that never goes away. Ew. That gunky stuff in your eyes when you wake up way too late. C, a person who talks at great length without making sense. Or D, a type of music that was popular in London for 23 seconds. The answer, ladies and gentlemen, is C, the person who talks at great length without making much sense. Now, the origin is from the mid-17th century, from the words blather and skite. It's a Scottish derogatory term adopted into American speech. So, yay, Scots. Moving on, question number 2. The word was mumpsimus. Mumpsimus. And that was either A, a disease that swells parts of your body that should just never swell. Yeah. B, a gladiator who is really, really fat. C, a person who adheres to customs or ideas even though they are outdated and unreasonable. Or D, an ancient tribal dance that involves loincloths, avocados, and a puppy. The answer, ladies and gentlemen, C is your answer. A person who adheres to customs or ideas even though they are outdated and unreasonable. Now, many people have claimed that this is the best way to describe certain politicians or ex-lovers or both, because these days, what the hell's going on? All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is your final question and answer for round number 2. The word was pooter. So that was a foreign car with 3 wheels, a bottle for collecting small insects, the latest craze to hit the internet, or that one thing that you're thinking of, you with your minds, that I just can't say here. The answer, ladies and gentlemen, is B, a bottle for collecting small insects. There you go. It's from entomology. So it's a bottle for collecting small insects and other invertebrates, having one tube through which they are sucked into the bottle and another protected by muslin or gauze, which is sucked. So a lot of sucking of the pooters. Hey, look, it's right here. The origin is 1930s. It's said to be from the name of, and this is an actual person, William Poos, 1891 to 1987. Wow, that guy lived a life. He was an American entomologist and a person who had a rather unfortunate name. I guess in the beginning, 1891, Poos was like no big deal, but then you hit the 80s, you're like, your name is Poos? What's wrong with you? But they named something after him, so good on you. Good on you, Billy Poos. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a small little break once again. I'm talking for like a half an hour here, so I might as well just, drink. You're watching Trivia Uncut and also listening to Trivia Uncut. If you're listening on the podcast, thanks for listening. Download it and just, bring us whatever the hell you want. If you're watching on the Village Connection Network, thank you. Tell thousands of your friends, because I want to get thousands of views or something. Or just keep watching it. Just keep clicking it constantly if you want. I don't care. If you want to find out more about me or he, wherever that's going on, go to SteveStrangioProductions.com. Also, guys, if you want, speaking of podcasts, currently part of a podcast right now called, this is an awesome name, the Drunken Rebels Podcast. It is such a fun podcast. It's me and George and Bill and whoever else we can find. And basically what happens is we, for about an hour or maybe 2, hour and a half, depending on if, we can keep talking, mainly about geek culture and fandom, but we basically talk about whatever interests us. And we do this while drinking whiskey. So by the end of it, we're just like, you don't tell me what to do. I know Star Wars. You don't know nothing. So we're basically just, I drink beer. I drink whiskey when I can, but George is the whiskey-malier. And Bill is awesome at what he does. So I got 2 great partners. It's their show. They just invited me to come on the show, and I'm proud to be a part of it. So Drunken Rebels Podcast. Search for it on iTunes. Ask for it by name. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're up on round number 3. We started a little bit late. That's why we're just going to keep going here. We got 3 more rounds to go. This is round number 3. Here is the name of this round. Ladies and gentlemen, it's called Them Foreign Movie Titles is Crazy. So what's going to happen is I'm going to give you the foreign version of an American movie title, and you got to tell me the name of the movie. I used to go to the West Village a lot when I was a kid, and I was always kind of search for like the weirdest, movie posters I could find. And they always, for some reason, in certain other countries, they just can't understand our way of speaking because they're foreigners, of course. But the names don't translate very well. So we're going to try to go here, and what's going to happen is I'm going to give you the foreign title, where it's from, and I'll give you 3 choices, and you got to tell me which is the right one. So here we go. Question number 1. This title comes from Japan, and the name of the movie is Captain Supermarket. Yeah. So here are your 3 choices. A, Inner Space. B, Army of Darkness. Or C, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So which one of that? Captain Supermarket. This is in Japan. That's what it's called. A, Inner Space. B, Army of Darkness. Or C, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Moving on to question number 2. This title comes to us from Israel, and the movie is called Love is in the Sky. Here are your 3 choices. A, Top Gun. B, Titanic. Or C, Air Force One. Which one of those 3 from Israel? The name of the movie is called Love is in the Sky. Is it A, Top Gun, B, Titanic, or C, Air Force One? And finally, this last one comes to us from Portugal, or Portugal, and the name of the title is Meetings and Failures in Meetings. So here are your 3 choices. A, American Psycho, or American Psycho. B, Wall Street. Or C, Lost in Translation. So it's from Portugal. The title is Meetings and Failures in Meetings. So there you go. So what do you say we just dive right into the answers, folks? Here we go. So round number 3, them foreign movie titles is crazy. So here you go. Question number 1 from Japan, Captain Supermarket. The answer, ladies and gentlemen, Army of Darkness. Choice number B, one of my personal favorite movies. Now, the actual title was Bruce Campbell versus the Army of Darkness. Bruce Campbell, my personal hero. But the original title of the movie, the working title, was The Medieval Dead, which is a reference to the movies that came before it, which was The Evil Dead, and then Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen any of these movies, after you watch this show, stop whatever you're doing and go see those movies. They are just so insane. They're called Splat Stick. It's Splat Stick, and it's the funniest stuff. It's adventure. Don't worry about it being scary. It's actually just kind of wacky and funny. So here we go. Moving on to question number 2, title from Israel, and the movie is Love is in the Sky. The answer is A, Top Gun. Yeah. So there, and believe it or not, folks, there really is a Top Gun flight school. But if anybody quotes a line from the movie, this is actually true. If anybody quotes a line from the movie, they're actually fined $5. So if I went, I would be fined $27. I don't care if the math doesn't add up. And finally, question number 3. This one comes from Portugal. The title is Meetings and Failures in Meetings. And the answer is C, Lost in Translation. Yeah. That was directed by Sofia Coppola. And she actually wasn't sure if Bill Murray was actually going to show up for the film. Going by only, according to Coppola, a verbal confirmation. There was no contract signed. He decided, he agreed to be in the film, but he just said, okay, I'll be in the film. So they went ahead and started everything. It was on the first day of filming that Bill Murray showed up. So it's pretty strange. I heard he doesn't have to have an agent. You have to call an 800 number. If I could find that 800 number, I would definitely call him and offer him a drink. All right, guys, we have 2 more to go, and I'm going to blast right through these. So round number 4, the name of this round is Who Said That Thing That Was Just Said? Some people have said some pretty profound things, or have just said, things. I'm going to give you the quote, and you have to guess who said that thing that they said with their mouths. Here we go. Who said this thing? Question number 1. I speak, yell, scream directly at the old guard on behalf of the future. Here are your choices. A, Donald Glover, not Danny. Donald Glover, he's going to play Lando Calrissian. B, Alec Baldwin. Or C, Kanye West. Write down your answers. Number 2, who said this quote? The screaming in these breaks has got to stop. Please and thank you. I don't think it's necessary when I'm trying to say something and you guys are screaming. Who said that? A, Justin Bieber, B, Childish Gambino, or C, Frank Sinatra? Write down your answers. Moving on. Question number 3. Who said this quote? Are you sitting down? Okay, here's the quote. I am not a demon. I am a lizard, a heat-seeking panther. I want to be Bob Denver on acid playing the accordion. Who said that? Is it A, you got 4 choices this time. A, Jack Nicholson. B, Nicolas Cage. C, Gary Oldman. Or D, some crazy guy in the subway with no pants. What do you think? Write down your answers. I'm going to take another drink. Very thirsty. I talk a lot. And we say we get to the answers right away, folks, because we're in overtime right now. Round number 4. Who said that thing that was just said? Here are your answers. Question number 1. I'm just going to say the quote and then give you the answer. Who said, I speak, yell, scream directly at the old guard on behalf of the future? That, ladies and gentlemen, was C, Kanye West. Apparently, this quote was to explain his view on everything. So if you hear somebody speak, yell, or screaming, well, that would be Kanye. Good for you. Moving on. Question number 2. The screaming in these breaks has got to stop. Please and thank you. I don't think it's necessary when I'm trying to say something and you guys are screaming. Who said that? A, Justin Bieber. Yeah. See, Bieber whined this to his believers in Manchester, England, a while back when he was on stage, right? So he's asking them to keep quiet so he can continue his song. But then he stormed off stage when they would not stop showing their enthusiasm. Oh, what a shame. And finally, moving on, number 3, I am a demon. I am a lizard. I am a heat-seeking panther. I want to be Bob Denver on acid playing the accordion. There's only one person who could say this. That was B, Nicolas Cage. Yeah. I also would have accepted D, some crazy guy in the subway with no pants. Just putting that out there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're into the home stretch right now. This is round number 5. We're going to blast right through this puppy, and I hope you're having a damn good time. If you are, just let me know. Got some comments over here. Leave me a comment. Make some suggestions. I'm open to anything. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Round number 5, our final round of the evening. True or false or nonsense? Yeah. I'll say something, and you have to guess which one of these choices is correct. Now, some may argue that false and nonsense are the same thing, but trust me, I think you'll know which one is the nonsense. Or maybe you won't, or maybe you should just lighten up. All right, here we go, folks, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to say something, and you tell me if it's true, false, or nonsense. Number 1, the medical term for butt crack is intergluteal cleft. What do you think? True, false, or nonsense? Butt crack equals intergluteal cleft. Moving on, question number 2. Tap dancing in a bowl of pudding is actually banned in 23 countries, but it's encouraged in Bratislava because it's their national pastime. True, false, or nonsense? And finally, question number 3. Sonic the Hedgehog's full name is Irving P. McPherson. True, false, or nonsense, ladies and gentlemen? Sonic the Hedgehog is actually Irving P. McPherson. So write down your answers. And here we go. Question number 1. The medical term for butt crack is intergluteal cleft. Ladies and gentlemen, that is true. So don't fall on your intergluteal cleft or even show it to anybody when you bend over. No one wants to see that. Question number 2. Tap dancing in a bowl of pudding is actually banned in 23 countries, but encouraged in Bratislava because it's their national pastime. Ladies and gentlemen, that is nonsense. Yeah, I would have also accepted false. And finally, question number 3. Sonic the Hedgehog's full name is actually Irving P. McPherson. Ladies and gentlemen, that is really false. His real name, believe it or not, is Ogilvy Maurice Hedgehog. So there you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that wraps up the show. You have been watching Trivia Uncut. My name is Steve Strangio. We're here usually on Mondays, around this time. But then we just, we blast this puppy out, and you can watch it any damn time you want. But we debut on Mondays, unless I got to take a break, and then you can just keep watching the repeats. So keep checking back in with us. If you like what you see, please let me know. And I hope you had a damn good time. And that's basically it. Steve Strangio for the Village Connection Network and every other thing that you can hear or listen to this on. Thanks for watching. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you very soon.